Alexander the Great Idiot was moving towards India. On the way was Persia, ransacked the Persian Empire, killed every male member of the royal family, went in search of this man sitting there with a heap of bones. This happened. When Alexander the Great Idiot had this dream of conquering the whole world, but at that time in history, the important part of the world, and even today is, but at that time it was significantly so, was everybody wanted to conquer India because of the wealth and the culture and the most prosperous nation on the planet, all these things. So he was moving towards India. On the way was Persia. So he ransacked the Persian Empire, killed almost all the male members of the royal family, and then he wants to leave, move towards India. But he needs somebody, a vassal king, to manage that. Somebody who's his puppet, who will manage the kingdom for him. You can't just pick up somebody and put them up in those days. They must be of the royal family, otherwise people will not gel with that. So he started looking, but unfortunately he had killed every male member of the royal family. Then somebody said, there is one prince who left the family long time ago and he spends all his time in the graveyard. The Persian people have this, that they're dead, they neither bury nor burn. They're very smart people. Even today, they're very smart people. Why waste firewood on the dead? Fuel. Why pollute the air by burning? Why take the labor of digging holes in the earth? Just leave it for the birds and other scavengers to eat the meat. Then the bones alone you bury, which is easy because after 100 people have died, one colossal digging you have to do, easy. I'm just saying, this is their way, this is their tradition. So this young prince left the family for years. He's been just sitting in this graveyard, watching these bones, trying to realize something. There's a whole tradition in India that yogis, first part of the training is they're sent to the cremation ground, go sit there and watch. So Alexander went in search of this man. So he was sitting there with a heap of bones. Alexander said, see, I will make you the king. You just be there as a king. I will take care of everything. My soldiers will manage everything, my people will manage everything. You just be the king, sit on the throne, wear the crown. We'll take care of everything. Then this prince, looking at a heap of bones here, like a disappointed vulture, because vulture is disappointed if the bone doesn't have meat. Like that, he's looking at it and says, see, so many have died here, many of them killed by you, and some are rich, some are poor, some were royal families, some were ordinary people, some were high, some were low. I've been trying to make out through these bones which one is high bone, which one is low bone, which one is royal bone, which one is ordinary bone, which is a rich bone, which is a poor bone. I'm not able to get it. Can you tell me? Alexander looked at it. This is too complex for me. He just left and went away. It was too much for him. The most precious thing is your life. It is slipping away. You are thinking this and trying to find explanations for the drama that's happening around you. Time is going away. If you could stop time and discuss how your husband is not okay, we can do it. But time is going away. But we are investing time in things that we don't care for. If you knew time is going away, you would not invest in things that you don't care for, isn't it? So I'm thinking of creating a device, we are working on it right now, that every day it's reminding you, oh, you're 50 years of age, 50% of the sands of time are gone. And as you see, it is just going away. You've seen the old hourglasses. That was just telling you the hour is getting over. This we make it little enlarged to see how your life is getting over all the time. Because if you sit, it goes away. If you stand, it goes away. If you do something wonderful, it goes away. If you do something nasty, it goes away. You did nothing, it goes away. This is the nature of time and life. If you want to rise above the time process, there is a way. But that also you must dissolve in a way. Otherwise, as long as you're a slave of time, it's best that you're conscious that time is slipping away. There is no time in this life to do anything that genuinely does not matter to you. Yes or no?
So these 84 asanas, which are the fundamental yogasanas, are 84 ways to make the body into a passage. It is not necessary, actually, for everybody to do 84 asanas. If they do one, it is enough. Usually hatha yogis, serious hatha yogis who are taking hatha yoga as their path to liberation, practice only one asana, just one asana. It is difficult for a thinking mind to understand why would somebody spend his whole life trying to sit in a particular way. But if you learn to sit right, if you just learn to hold your body right, everything that you need to know in this universe you can know. Because this is known as asana siddhi. If you can sit in a posture, stable and comfortable, for 2.5 hours, then we say you have attained to asana siddhi, that you are in absolute comfort and at ease in a particular posture. That is asana siddhi. If you achieve this, everything that you need to know, one can know internally. How is this possible? How can by sitting you can know everything that you can know? If you have a television at home, television is just a box with a little bit of electronics in it. But it becomes a world by itself. The whole world can stream into this place that we call as a television, or this box that we call as a television, simply because there is a receiving mode. If you set the antenna right, if it is properly adjusted, then the whole world flows into your place or into this box. If it is not set right, same instrument, it has everything but can't do anything. This is how human being is. A human being is, an individual human being is who he is only because of what he perceives. Only because of what he or she perceives, an individual human being becomes whoever they are. Right now, you are who you are only because of whatever you have perceived in your life till now. And you will be who you will be only because of what you will perceive in future. Whatever you perceive is what makes you whatever you are today. So, the whole system of yoga is only interested in enhancing perception. So if you hold the posture right, if your alignment is right, and if it matches with the cosmic alignment in some way, 84 alignments, if one gets into these 84 postures, or even masters a single posture and approaches the remaining 83 through that, then everything that has happened in the creation till this moment, one can know, because the memory of that is right here within your system. Let us say in a codified way, it can be activated and ignited if it touches another dimension outside of yourself. So asanas are powerful means, yoga asanas are powerful means to connect. I I do not want you to forget what yoga means. Yoga means union. Union means two have become one. Two is just this, there are only two in the existence, you and the rest of the existence. In the rest of the existence, you may identify this one, that one, but essentially there are only two, you and the rest of the existence, because there are only two dimensions of experience within you. You do not know what is up and down in this cosmos. You do not know what is forward and backward in this cosmos. You do not know anything. These are all things that we have made up for convenience. The only experiential reality is, there is something called outward and there is something called inward. So these are the two dimensions of experience, inner and outer. So yoga means to bring a union between these, inner and outer, you and the rest, you and the other. When there is no you and the other, there is just you and you. That is yoga. So asanas are a physical manifestation of approaching this, a physical form of approaching this ultimate union, because physical body is the easiest thing to work with. If you try to do something with your mind, it will play too many tricks. At least with the body, you know whether it's doing it right or not doing it right, whether it's cooperating or not cooperating. A mind, if you push it too hard, it will play all kinds of tricks with you. It will make you believe all kinds of things and dump you the next day. But body is not like that. It is a reliable factor. If you work with it sensibly, the yogasanas will definitely lead to the possibility of ultimate union. In the meantime, by getting into the postures, before all this alignment with the ultimate happens, inner alignment happens, which will naturally achieve a chemistry of healthfulness, joyfulness and blissfulness, and above all, balance. Balance is something that modern societies have ignored and they're paying a huge price for today. Whatever may be your intelligence, whatever may be your competence and education and qualifications, if you do not have the necessary balance, you will not succeed, you will not go very far in your life. So, the most important thing for people who are seeking to be successful, people whether they're working in corporate sector or they're political or they're military or whatever field, the most important thing is balance. Only if you have a balance which is not disturbed by external situations, will you be capable of making use of the competence and intelligence that you carry within you. Otherwise, the most wonderful qualities that one may have will all go waste, simply because of lack of balance. And Hatha Yoga means balance.
If you get into a certain rhythm which is compulsive within you, you will be just a repetition of the past. If you want to break your emotional rhythms, these are simplest tools, may be drastic, but if you don't want to waste time in your life, that's the way to go. When it comes to the innermost core, it is all one. When it comes to the body, when it comes to the mind, when it comes to your emotions and the world around you and your activity, the whole significance of life, the beauty of life and the efficacy of life is in just finding the right rhythm. What is your rhythm? If you listen to the outermost surface of who you are, there will be one kind of rhythm. If you delve a little deeper, there will be another kind of rhythm. There is a very surface rhythm which
will find expression in very fundamental needs and compulsions of who you are. If you watch yourself a little more closely, you will see there is a psychological rhythm which need not necessarily match with the needs and compulsions which drive you on a daily basis. If you watch with little more sensitivity, you would notice an emotional rhythm which is of a completely different nature than your psychological rhythm. If you watch much more keenly, you may notice a certain chemical rhythm which could be more connected to our emotional cycles than anything else. If you watch with much more awareness, you may notice a certain energy rhythm which will not have anything to do with any of these things, but it causes everything else. But if you look deep enough, there is no rhythm, it's utter stillness. There is nothing to do about one stillness, just to take a dip is all you can do. But all the other realms need to be worked at. Your energies, your chemistry, your emotion, your thought, your body, your desire, and the karmic rhythms, these things need to be worked at. Otherwise, you will be just a repetition of the past. If you get into a certain rhythm which is compulsive within you, you will be just a repetition of the past over and over again. Nothing new will ever touch you. So to find the rhythm and consciously to change the rhythm, to make the rhythm more profound, more complex or more simple, above all, to be able to consciously change the rhythm, not to be like a broken record, that you go on singing the same rhythm all the time, all the time, all the time. At the age of 60, somebody comes to me yesterday and says, "My husband is not paying enough attention to me." I said, "You must be glad." You had these prayer problems when you were 18. Not good, but understandable. At 60, you still have the same problem. At 60, if you're still a teenager, oh, nobody's going to tolerate you. Yes? Nobody's going to tolerate a 60-year-old behaving like a teenager, isn't it? So, if you do not learn to consciously change the rhythm of body, mind, emotion, chemistry and energy, you will become like a broken record, simply repeating the same things over and over again. The easiest way or the simplest way to break the rhythms which are compulsive within you is to start doing things that you don't like. You would like to start the morning with a chocolate, but here you start with a neem ball. Just what you don't like. If you want to break your emotional rhythms, the simplest thing is to look for somebody that you cannot stand and to work with them. Choose them as your partner to work with, somebody you just can't stand. These are simplest tools, may be drastic, but if you don't want to waste time in your life, that's the way to go. To just get up in the morning and do what you don't like. And after some time, you will see your likes and dislikes are essentially your making. They are not some God-given laws as to what you should like and what you should dislike. It's got nothing to do with the object of your like or the object of your dislike. It is just your compulsiveness which draws you to certain things and repels you from certain other things.
La 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 la, la 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 la, la 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 la, la 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 la.
This very body is soil. My body, your body, everybody is just soil body. Soil body. The magic of soil is it turns death into life. Depleted soils will not quench the fire of hunger. Unquenched hunger can burn the very world. This is a generational responsibility. Save soil. Let's make it happen.
Everyone wants to shove their own opinion down anyone else's throat, and everyone feels that their opinion is the right opinion, whether it's good, whether it's called for, whether it's necessary, whatever it is.
Today's relationships are very shallow. They don't have any depth in them. It's very hard to find people who are deep.
Our interaction with technology has become so heightened that our interaction with the people around us has become a problem.
मैं बहुत सारे मीडियाज में प्रोजेक्ट करना चाहता हूँ और बहुत सारे कंपटीशन है, बहुत लोग हैं, सभी चाहते हैं आगे बढ़ने के लिए. इसमें थोड़ा क्या हो रहा है, टांग खींचे ये सब चल रहा है.
Why are people so emotionally attached to certain things and then suddenly show such a huge amount of detachment towards other things who are along the similar line? For example, if you're a North Indian, you would care more about a girl who's been raped from your region than you would care about a girl who's been raped in Kashmir.
I have tons of friends on social media, but I don't have many people that I can actually fall on whenever I need them.
This is a big distraction. What's happening is the overuse. On a personal level, I face the challenge of discipline. I would like to be more disciplined with my work.
मैं ये पूछना चाहता हूँ, क्या ऐसा कुछ मैजिक है कि इस दुनिया में सब इक्वल हो जाए, कोई गरीब ना रहे, कोई अमीर ना रहे, कोई मिडिल क्लास ना रहे, all are equal.
I really want to know the truth about that. If someone is feeling lonely and has not been able to create good relationship, what should that person do?
I would like to increase my attention span. How can I increase my focus? I really want to know the truth about affirmations. By invoking affirmations, how do we subconsciously reprogram our mind and body?
I really want to know the truth about what young people are actually thinking.
I do not know, it's a tremendous possibility. Only if you see I do not know, the longing to know, seeking to know, and the possibility of knowing arises.
The word Nadi Shuddhi literally means cleansing the nadis. When we say nadis, We are not talking about the 72,000 because these 72,000 are only a branch out of the two basic nadis, the Pingala and the Ida. 36,000 branching out from Pingala, 36,000 branching out from Ida. This is the energy physiology of a human being. When we say Nadi Shuddhi, we are talking about cleansing fundamentally the Pingala and Ida so that energy system will work in balance. There is a connection between your breath and your mental structure. To bring balance to your thought is a very important step that you need to take if you want to bring balance to your activity, your emotion and the results of your life and the impact that you have on other people's lives. Nadi Shuddhi plays an important role.
Here are a few guidelines that will set optimal conditions and greatly enhance your receptivity of the practices. Please ensure cell phones are either in silent mode or switched off. It is advisable not to sit for the program with a full stomach or immediately after a meal. Please sit with your spine comfortably erect, hands uncrossed, and palms open. These conditions will prepare you to be in a heightened state of receptivity and derive the most benefits from the practices. These practices are very safe and simple and can be done by anybody. The practices we will be learning here can be done by anyone ages 7 years and above. If you wear glasses while doing the yoga practices, please remove them and keep them aside. How to do Nadi Shuddhi? She will demonstrate. Please observe. Sit in a cross-legged posture with your spine comfortably erect, eyes closed. Left hand should be loosely placed in the middle of your lap, palm facing upwards. Use only your right hand. Use your thumb and ring finger. Fold your middle and index fingers. The ring and little finger are held straight and side by side touching. Now block your right nostril with your thumb and inhale through your left nostril. After the inhalation is complete, exhale through the same. In a similar fashion, using the ring finger, block your left nostril and inhale through the right nostril. Then exhale through the same. Again, block the right and open the left. Inhale and exhale. Continue like this. Be focused on your breath. So when you do this Nadi Shuddhi, what is most important is to breathe fully in and fully out, as slowly and as gently as it is possible for you. You should not make any sound when you exhale or inhale. So for this to happen, you just need to remember one basic point so that Nadi Shuddhi happens by itself. You will always switch after every exhalation. So that means whichever nostril you inhale through, the same nostril you exhale through. You do Nadi Shuddhi for a minimum of 4 minutes. A few corrections for the practice. Do not keep your left hand on the thigh. The left hand should be loosely placed in the middle of your lap. To clarify, on the right hand, you use only your thumb and ring finger. The ring and little finger are held straight and are side by side touching. Fold your middle and index fingers. If you are unable to hold them straight, do it as best you can. Also, there is a tendency to keep the head down or turn to one side. Unconsciously, your face may tilt one way or the other. Your head should be straight. If you maintain this, your system will come to a balance very quickly. Ensure not to press too hard on the lower part of the nostril. Locate the septal bone on your right nostril, just a millimeter beneath that. If you place the thumb, with very minimal pressure, you can block the nostril effectively so that no air can escape. Ensure you are not breathing shallow, doing normal breathing, or holding the breath. The breathing should be fully in and fully out. We will do Nadi Shuddhi together now. Sit in a cross-legged posture with your spine comfortably erect. If you are unable to sit on the floor, you can sit in a chair with your legs crossed at the ankles. Left hand should be loosely placed in the middle of your lap, palm facing upward. Use only your right hand. Use your thumb and ring finger. Fold your middle and index fingers. The ring and little finger are held straight and are side by side touching. Close your eyes. Now block your right nostril with your thumb and inhale through your left nostril. After the inhalation is complete, exhale through the same. Now using the ring finger, block your left nostril and inhale through the right nostril. Then exhale through the same. Again, block the right and open the left. Inhale and exhale. Continue to do this until we ask you to stop. Be focused on your breath. The breathing is fully in and fully out. Do it as slowly and gently as you can. Make sure your spine is comfortably erect. Ensure your head is straight. Continue to be focused on your breath. You can end with an exhalation through your left nostril and stop. Please slowly open your eyes.
Peace is not the ultimate goal of life. It is the most fundamental requirement. If you hold it as the ultimate goal in your life, you will only rest in peace. Of all the things, a groundnut, you know. I'm particularly passionate about the groundnut because there was a period of my life when I just lived on groundnut and banana, that's all. Because it has everything you need. Just soaked groundnut, one handful, this much of groundnut soaked overnight, one banana, my entire day would go. I'm perfectly active, more active than most people will ever imagine. It has everything to sustain you.
It's a complete food by itself. If you soak it for over 6 to 8 hours, it takes away certain aspects which are called as pitta. You know what's pitta? Allopathic doctors don't look at it, but the Ayurveda is based on this, Ushna, Shita and Pitta. It takes away the pitta, and taking this soaked groundnut, chewing it well and eating. Just make sure it's not some genetically engineered nonsense, whatever.
One thing is, it could be genetically modified. They are no more declaring which is modified, which is not. Another thing is, you're pumping in fertilizers and pesticides to such an extent, the groundnut is no more a groundnut.
Just make sure it's a more organic thing. If you want breakfast, you want a recipe. You take a handful of groundnut, soak it in water for 6 to 8 hours, put it in the mixie. If you want to add some fruit, you add a banana, whatever you like. Banana goes well, you can add any other fruit. If you want, put some honey into it, 2 minutes. You have excellent breakfast ready. It takes 2 minutes to do it. And if you want it little watery, put more water into it and just drink it up. You want it like porridge, you make it thick and you eat it. You will see easily it'll keep you for 4 to 5 hours and it's highly nutritious.
Mahashivratri is of both spiritual and scientific significance. Shivaratri means the 14th day of every month, that is one day before Amavasya or the no moon day. There are 12 to 13 Shivaratris in a year. Of all the Shivaratris, the Shivaratri that appears in the month of Magha during February-March is known as the Mahashivaratri or the Great Night of Shiva. In the northern hemisphere on this planet, on that day, there is a natural upsurge of energy within the human system. Every life form experiences a certain upsurge of energies within themselves. This upsurge of energies can be truly made use of only by those creatures who have their spine erect. Our fortune of being human is we are the only species here who have graduated to that level of an erect spine. If you look at the evolutionary development of various species, you will notice that moving from invertebrate to vertebrate is one significant step, and another significant step in the evolutionary process is a spine moving from horizontal positions to vertical positions. The true development of the brain happened only after the spine became vertical. As on Mahashivratri night, there is a natural upsurge of energies. Keeping the spine vertical throughout the night has immense benefits. It is of great benefit, particularly to those on the spiritual path, but this is also significant for people who are in family situations and also for the ambitious in the world. For those on the spiritual path, for the yogis, this is the day when Shiva transcended all the movement within himself and became utterly, absolutely still. On this day, his third eye opened and his perception blossomed. What we are saying is these two eyes are sense organs. They can show you the physical realities around you. But if you want to see the basis of this reality, if you want to see the subtler reality which is beyond the physicality of nature, if you want to know this, you need another dimension of perception. The dimension of perception which is beyond the physical, is known as the third eye. So this is the day which facilitates your journey towards the opening of your third eye or a deeper dimension of perception within yourself.
Continue your journey of self-discovery and consciousness expansion with us. Share this video to inspire others to join us on this journey of personal growth.